Hey there, it's Casey Dimon here with TaxSaleAcademy.com. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Tax Sale Tip segment. Now, before we get to this week's tip, don't forget to check out the links in the description of this video. There are lots of great resources when it comes to learning about investing in tax defaulted real estate. All right, this week's tip is going to be all about consistency. And I really understand it. This is something that is hard for a lot of people to stomach, especially when they're first starting out. So many new investors are driven by the results of what they think they should be happening by now. And they're not happy unless they've reached their goals already. I hear all the time from people that think they should buy their first property within 30 or 45 days. And believe me, it is fantastic to have goals, to have a target to shoot for. But something like that is pretty haphazard since we cannot control the property selection, since we can't control the auction time, the competition at that auction, and so many other things that play into the role of our investments. What we can do, however, is something that can substantially increase our chances of long-term success as a tax sale investor, and that is to be consistent with all of our efforts. Continually being consistent, however, sounds much easier than it is in practice, especially when you're not checking off goal after goal like you think you should be. Yet, that's one of the primary determining factors of success in this business and most other businesses, consistency. So, let's go over a few ways that you can be consistent in your tax sale business. And truthfully, these are just three of the primary ways. So let me lay these out and make it as simple as possible for you. The first is to learn continually. Be consistent in your quest to learn about this business. Obviously, learning initially is going to be everything, right? This is such a simplistic business from the outside looking in. But until you're deep inside this business, you don't have a clue what you don't yet know. So take the time to learn what you're doing before getting involved. And even still, please be consistent with your learning efforts. I've told the stories before about the old timers, the veterans in this business who failed to evolve, and eventually they ended up with failed businesses. They did not take the time to learn consistently. Sure, the principles behind investing will always remain the same. Buy at one price and hopefully sell at a higher price and make money. But the business world changes on a very routine basis. Marketing methods change, approaches change, strategies change, the way we operate changes. And once you see just a little bit of success, you tend to forget this. You almost get stuck in your ways by following that one route to success. And I write about this in Tax Sale Playbook after my early success. And then 2008 came and I just completely blew my business apart. So I had to continue to evolve and continue to learn. The next one is research. Be consistent in your research. If you've ever hit a period where you research property after property and you become hopeless, you're not alone. The fact is, we are not the ones that control the properties available at these auctions. The properties are there as a result of the tax foreclosure process. Sure, there will be periods of time when property research is boring and it just does not produce the properties that we are looking for. But you're not wasting your time. You must remember that's okay. That is part of the process. It is not a time to simply give up because we aren't happy with the selection on the tax sale list that we're researching. It's a time to go back one step, then see what we can learn. How can we change strategies? How can we possibly find different locations, different markets, or seek out different property types and still keep moving forward? This is a time that so many people throw their hands up in the air and say, well, tax sale investing is just not for me because they aren't finding properties on the tax sale list that they're researching. The fact is, if you're willing to put forth the effort and you are consistent, you'll be perfectly fine. Then the last part of being consistent is with the act of investing. I get emails frequently from some people that will go to one auction or maybe two auctions and they'll say, this just doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is because you have not given it enough time. You are not consistent enough as an investor. How about adjusting your approach as needed, then going to 20 auctions and then tell me that it doesn't work? Don't try to take the easy way out. I've been in this business for close to 2 decades now, and it works. But even still, I hit patches where I don't win a single property. It might take me a week, a month, maybe 2 or 3 months. No problem. I just keep pushing forward. The same can be said of my students. I have a student that I've mentioned before. She went to 10 auctions with 0 success. Didn't win a single property. Then on the 11th auction, she bought her very first property. She made like $15,000. Went to the next auction, bought another property. She kept that one as a rental and is producing a crazy ROI for her. The fact is that you must remind yourself constantly, you have to be consistent as an investor. It's easy to browse a list now, forget about it for a few months, come back, go to one auction, skip a few auctions, and eventually you'll just forget about this business entirely. But that's not how you operate if you want to be successful as an investor. Be consistent in all you do. Learn daily. Research properties as frequently as possible, which, by the way, will help you learn. And go to auctions as frequently as possible. And use all this to refine your business nonstop and become a better and more successful investor on a near daily basis. Consistency is such a key to this business. Please don't ever forget that. Hopefully you've enjoyed this week's quick tip. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button if you do enjoy these tax sale training videos. That way you don't miss out on future videos that we post. Take care and make it a successful day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.